Mr. Bird, you're charged with two cases. You're charged with reckless driving and unlawful carrying of a weapon. On the reckless driving, you're facing up to 30 days and or a $500 fine. And on the gun case, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On March 1st, 2025, at approximately 1:18 a.m., the officer observed a vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed, and the officer had to drive in excess of 130 miles per hour.
130?
Yes, Judge. And the vehicle exited from the highway, and the officer paced the vehicle bumper to bumper between 100 and 105 miles per hour. The vehicle was changing lanes and driving around vehicles that were traveling at the posted speed limit of 45 miles per hour. The officer caught up to the vehicle to get a closer read and paced the vehicle again at 92 miles per hour. The vehicle drove through a stale red light without stopping and into the intersection at 51 miles per hour. A traffic stop was conducted, and the defendant stated he was driving that way because he was on his way to his baby mama's house and that she wanted to go to the doctor. The defendant stated that he may have outstanding traffic tickets. The officer asked the defendant if he had any guns in the vehicle, and the defendant stated he did not. The defendant was arrested for reckless driving, and an inventory search of the vehicle was conducted, and the officers located a loaded semi-automatic gun found between the driver's seat and the center console. The defendant stated the firearm belonged to his girlfriend, and the defendant made further references and threats towards the officer.
Mr. Bird, you understand that I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my public at all costs. And if that means putting you in jail and making your bond sky high, I will do it in a heartbeat. Do you understand? Yes, you are not allowed to drive, and you will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive. If I find that you do, I can have a contempt hearing every single time you drive. It's an offense in and of itself. Do you understand? Yes, sir. And finding that there's probable cause to go forward on the reckless driving in addition to the gun case. You're also ordered not to be in possession of any weapons as well. If I find that you have a weapon, you pick up a new case, violate conditions in any way, I will revoke your bond on both cases, put you in jail, no more PR bonds. Do you understand? Yes, sir. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? Yes, you work these. What do you do with yourself these days?
Yeah, I just lost my job due to this case.
Okay. I'll have you fill out an application. Deputy Rand is going to give you an application. I'll have you fill it out. I'll take a look at it. Keep my county safe. Do you understand?
So,
Come on.
Step over here, Mr. Bird. You can raise your right hand for me, sir. You sworn affirm that you will not give me family guilty without a valid disregard or something? No, no, sir. You don't have a valid disregard?
I have one.
Trump? Okay.
And Your Honor, on perusal of these state's conditions, no weapons in addition to the no.
Yeah, so no driving, no weapons.
Yes, Judge.
If you can file it, please.
Yes, Judge.
Jamal Crump, come up. Mr. Crump, you are charged with unlawful restraint. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On March 1st, 2025, at approximately 2:27 p.m., the officer was dispatched to a disturbance call in Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, the officer met with the complainant, who stated that her child's father caused the disturbance and got her kicked out of the motel. The complainant stated her and the defendant got into an altercation due to the defendant trying to take a child away that they have together and the complainant not wanting to be together anymore. The complainant was attempting to leave the room when the defendant began sitting against the door, preventing her from leaving. The complainant stated she grabbed the defendant by his hair and started striking him with a closed fist because she was in fear for her safety due to a previous offense report from Harris County Sheriff's Office. The defendant called his brother, and the defendant's brother entered the room and started recording the incident. And the defendant was trying to leave with the child, and the complainant attempted to get him away from the defendant. The complainant was unsuccessful, and the child bumped his head on the door, and the complainant stated she knew the defendant by name, age, and sight. The officer was able to locate the defendant's driver's license and positively identified the defendant. Another call for service came from another location regarding an assault that occurred at the original location. Upon arrival, the officers met with the defendant, who stated he was assaulted by the complainant. The defendant stated they were having a conversation in the restroom of a hotel and that he was standing in the doorway when all of a sudden the complainant became belligerent and started cursing him, telling him to leave. The defendant stated he was punched in the face and suffered a busted lip. And the defendant stated his brother was called to mediate and be a witness. Then the complainant began cursing at the brother. The defendant stated the complainant grabbed the child by one arm and threw him on the bed like a rag doll.
Mr. Crump, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Did she ended up getting charged as well?
I do not see a charge for the complainant, Your Honor.
So just don't have any contact with this person. That's all I'm asking you to do. You know, sometimes when you have cancer in life, what do? You cut it out, because if you don't, it kills you. Some people in life can become a cancer to you as well. So that's it. I don't want you to have contact with this person. Do you understand? If I find that you do, I'm going to revoke your bond. I will put you in jail. I'm also ordering you not to be in possession of weapons as well, Mr. Crump. You have the ability to hire a lawyer, or would you like to apply for a court-appointed lawyer? Okay, I'll have you fill out an application. I'll take a look at it. I'm going to have you sign a receipt with Ramona. After that, I'll have you take a seat in the jury box. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions. Do you understand? Okay, come on. So can you file no contact and no weapon?